Yes. So for anybody joining us, give us a thumbs up, smiley face, whatever you want.
Show us
Let
where
us
you
know.
at.
Let us know where you're at. We're gonna keep this thing a little brief today. Go over a few things that are just on our mind and roll with it.
Yeah, in this realm of becoming, entrepreneurs and creating our business, and we find this common problem amongst not only us as entrepreneurs, but within our friends and family as well. And we decided that this was something we needed to talk about because this is definitely a challenge that we've had over the years, and we've really learned how to tap into it and use it for our benefit. And so we just want to talk about the danger of comparing yourself to others, getting stuck in that trap of especially in this day and age of social media.
Yeah, so I guess we'll start this thing off here. So talking about social media, we have our Instagram feeds, we have our Facebook feeds, our Twitter feeds, YouTube, all of this stuff where we have the ability not only to share valuable information, but it's also the ability to see what other people are doing in their lives. And this also leads us down a road where we start to compare ourselves to others. We compare lifestyles. We compare accomplishments. We compare income, our cars, our houses, and then even
experiences.
Exactly, even our experiences. So you might have people that are like traveling the world and doing all this badass shit, and you're sitting home and you're
binge watching Netflix, eating ice cream out of the container and saying, where did my life go?
I hope that's vegan ice cream. But, and this is where this gets, quite dangerous. We see all these people like, man, I want to grow my Instagram or Facebook following. This person has 100,000 followers and I only got 200, And so it's these little things like this, but they lead.
They build up and build up. And
they do.
Next thing you know, you find yourself feeling inadequate when, in fact, all your strengths are noticed daily, but you're passing them by with your consciousness, right? And it's what we like to call the highlight reel. Everybody shows the highlight reel of their lives. And that's what social media is, right? You want to share your joys, your successes, your happiness. And in the midst of all of the success and happiness, we forget to share our vulnerabilities, our challenges, our weaknesses. And so when we are constantly scrolling through our Facebook or Instagram, what is it they say you check your phone like 100 plus times a day, and that's an average?
I actually had to delete the Facebook app off of my phone at one point. And I do this periodically, and this is for my own sanity, but also, having a business and, we have to be engaged with our followers and making sure that we're receiving messages and responding on time. But at the same point, deleting the Facebook app, and this is something we'll talk about combating ways of comparing yourselves to others. But I found myself checking it aimlessly, like looking through it, like I'm bored at work. Why can't I just sit and maybe meditate for 10 minutes instead of going through my feed or do something else, go take a walk outside, but this game of comparing ourselves to others is dangerous because it leads us to a false sense of self, and it gives us this like insecurity. And we start feeling frustrated, anxious, and a lot of these other feelings that come up from seeing other people living their lives. But this is the thing. A lot of these people that are showing you all of their highlight reels of their life, yeah, it may look all and good, but are they really being vulnerable? Are they really showing you who they are when the masks come off and they take all of that shit down and they're just, this is who I am inside me,
Well, and I'm not so certain that people are doing it on purpose per se. We just naturally, psychologically want to share our successes, right? As people. So, the darkness is a vulnerable place to be. It's difficult enough on your own. Why let the whole world in? And I'm of the belief that not everything is for the whole world to see. So I think sometimes it's just a psychological trap that we've all gotten ourselves into of sharing only the best moments of our lives. And we're not people aren't intentionally doing that to make other people feel inadequate. But if you're feeling insecure looking at someone else's news feed and their successes, what is it within yourself that needs to be noticed? Because it's not them. It's not their actions that are making you feel insecure, because nothing can make you feel insecure. It's your own beliefs, your own perceptions that create this insecurity. So that's actually an invitation into something deeper within yourself that needs attention. What is it that's sparking this insecurity? Why are other people's successes making, or why are you allowing the successes of other people to trigger inadequacy or unhappiness within your own life?
Yeah, and for us, like let's just get vulnerable here. Let's get personal. For me, I know, and Sarah, when I speak for myself, I'm generally speaking for her as well, considering we're attached to the hip pretty much.
We do have our differences.
We do. But we do everything together. We work together, we work out together, we do it all, So when I speak about, well, I guess what I'm going to say is I can most likely speak for her too, but being entrepreneurs and being in business, it's really, really hard at times.
This is the hardest thing we've ever done in our lives.
Extremely hard, and you're trying to spread a message, something that you're passionate about, something that you believe in, and getting started is the hardest part, right? So now we've gotten to a place where we're starting to get a role and things are starting to be more comfortable for us. But for so much time, you see all these coaches and healers out there and doing things that you want to be doing, and you see them have 100,000 followers, and they got all these people interacting with them, and they're being able to share their messages on big stages and all of this, and during that time you're like, man, I want to get to this place, I want to be there, but we don't know who those people really are. Sure, they might have 100,000 followers, but is their business really thriving? So it takes you down the rabbit hole, so to say, and something that can get I don't know.
And women, I know you can relate to this, and probably men too. You go to the gym and you're on that treadmill working hard, and someone walks by, perfect body, just shining and glistening in the light, and you're like,
oh, are they wearing oils and stuff?
Probably. And then you look down at yourself, and no matter how beautiful you are, no matter how comfortable you typically are in your own skin, there's always that split second where you think you are not good enough because they are quote unquote better. And this is only our false sense of identity, right? It's our ego. It's this desire that we have to be just as good as everybody else. But who sets the standards? We set the standards. We have cultural expectations, right? But we set the standards in our minds. And so we are our own worst enemy. And it's about finding your strengths and celebrating them, finding your beauty and your skills.
Because
and
you are beautiful.
Becoming unique. It's your unique soul expression. We all have our own unique role to play in this cosmic web, right? And if we're constantly comparing ourselves to others and their successes and their triumphs and their strengths, we're missing out on the great mystery of our own opportunity for contribution, our own way in which we can shine and show others who we are. And sometimes that does mean showing the dark parts of you. And that's something that Chris and I want to be more interactive with our followers and viewers, our challenges within our own lives. I think we've done pretty well so far, being vulnerable and honest about shortcomings and weaknesses and things that we try to work through, but we want to be even more open, and it helps if you're open too, and I've noticed though, more and more people on Facebook are starting to use it as an outlet to connect with people who feel they have the same problems, or there's certain things that they're working through on their personal development. I'd like to see more of that.
Yeah, and so we're talking about comparing yourself to others, but there's the flip side to it. It's comparing yourself to this idealized version of yourself, what society wants you to be, what your parents want you to be, what everybody else wants you to be. So that's another comparison that gets really dangerous. And that's something that, by going within ourselves and exploring those inner caverns, those inner landscapes of ourselves, and really digging deep, we can uncover a lot of that stuff, release a lot of these emotions that have us trapped and feeling
Hmm.
stagnant and stuck, and really uncover that shiny core that's deep
Hmm.
inside of you, because it is. We all have that. It's just a matter of finding that and digging that up, which takes time.
And it's interesting because you get to see your golden shadow when you envy someone else and the things that they have. Your golden shadow are the parts of you that you've forgotten
Mm.
exist or you've marginalized into the outer edges of your consciousness. And the reason it's called golden is because it's typically made of the beautiful things that we have pushed aside, like confidence or beauty or high self-esteem or even pride to some degree. We've pushed those away. So when you find yourself looking at someone's news feed and you're just really envious of the experience they have, you're like, wow, I wish I was as adventurous as they are. Think about that for a second. You are as adventurous as they are. You have the potential to be adventurous. That part of you've pushed down into your golden shadow because you think it's not a part of your dominant consciousness. But these are parts of us that we can nurture and grow. The question is, are you becoming certain parts or embodying certain parts just out of simply jealousy of someone else, or are you doing it because it really does express a core value of yours that you hold dear to you? And that's the tricky part, is recognizing whether you are becoming someone you want to be because you want to please other people or level up to the same degree of other people, or is it because you're truly fulfilling your core essence by these actions? And that's where you have to spend that time and patience with yourself, really identifying what is it that you yearn for in your life and why do you yearn for it. The why is the biggest question.
It is, and that why takes time to uncover. And let's see, Brittany Hoover, she says, trying to be what others wanted me to be was something I definitely dealt with at a younger age. The freedom I found by being who I want to be is amazing.
Isn't it
It's
incredible?
liberating, Brittany. It's awesome. And
You have to unlearn so many things that people have told you to do and be and like and wear and who to love and what religion to practice. I mean, it's, guys, we are not ourselves. We have to all admit that. We do not truly know ourselves until we begin that conscious effort of unlearning all of these things and deprogramming. And it's the most beautiful experience to finally lift that veil and say, wow, so my whole life has been a lie. Let's be honest and rip back these layers and really find out what's lying at that core.
because when you start to peel back the onion, and I'm gonna be straight out here and say this, like it's hard as shit. It's a really difficult road to go down. But what Brittany's talking about, what we're talking about, it's very liberating. It's it's ultimate freedom. It really is. It's ultimate freedom. And it's something that I believe everybody should do, because, we're always looking for all of these external things in life when all of the answers lie within us.
Absolutely. And so when you're seeing, there's nothing wrong with appreciating something someone is good at or sharing with the
Absolutely.
world. But it's like we'd said, it's about finding, is that resonating with your core values? And if so, if that's a part of your soul expression, by all means, come up with a strategy, come up with a plan to put more of that into your life to produce the same results. It's about your motivations behind it.
And one good technique for that, visualizations.
That's fun.
That's a whole nother video though. So what things can we do to combat this problem of comparing ourselves to others? One thing that I talked about in the beginning was doing a social media detox, right? So I know everybody's got that Facebook app on their phone. They're probably using that to watch this video right now, or they got the Instagram app, the Twitter app, Snapchat, YouTube, the list goes on. I don't even know half of the other social media things going on. I can't keep up with it. But anyways, do a social media detox, right? So social media, as we said, can be a great connector. It's a great medium for inspiration. But at the same point, we might want to take a break, take 7 days, take a couple weeks, delete that app and see what happens. I know it's really difficult because we are all addicted to it. We are
Out of habit, how many times do you reach for your phone and you don't even realize you're reaching for your phone? That's creepy. Like there are times I go to my phone to check a text message to respond to a friend, but out of habit I click on Facebook and I'm like, what? I wasn't even trying to get on Facebook. We've turned into Facebook robots, right? All of us.
Yeah, and again, it's something that is a valuable tool, especially for us being in business and being able to connect with other people and share all of these messages and all this stuff. But at the same point, it's great to take a break from it too. Just like we should detox our body, we should also be
Cleansing our mind.
detoxifying and cleansing our mind through a lot of this clutter that's happened through social media and other outlets.
Even if it's just a day, even if it's just 24 hours, 48 hours, just cleansing, giving yourself a break. And you can find yourself when you need a social media cleanse, when you're starting to become really envious of people's news feeds. And you're just like, you know what? You start getting that inner critic or that inadequacy voice that's telling you you're not good enough. That's a red flag. Your mind is not trying to destroy your life or make you feel awful. It's trying to tell you it's signaling to you there's something deeper that needs attention. So when you're starting to feel that way, if you can be honest with yourself, that's the good sign to do a social media detox, and not just detox, but reflect while you're apart from it. What are you going through not having it in your life? What were you going through that led to the detox? Why were you feeling inadequate looking at these people's lives? What's most important to you underlying that? Why do you envy their adventurous life or their fancy car or large house or 100,000 followers? What is most important to you that underlies that? Because your needs and your values, once you identify those, you can figure out healthy ways in which you can fulfill that and become fulfilled in your life without feeling jealous or inadequate when you're looking at someone else's successes.
And that's where what we were talking about before comes into about focusing on you and what you really want out of life, and then carving that path to align with those values, those core values, those passions. And once you carve that path, you then open up this whole entire world and, be able to share your message, your true authentic self in a big way.
Because that is just as important as everyone else's path and their journey, that uniqueness.
And that's exactly it. You're unique and you're not a replica of somebody else. You are your own unique person. And let's celebrate that. Let's celebrate how fucking awesome you are. Right? You're awesome.
I mean, what might be best for someone else might not be the greatest choice for you. And that's extremely important to know. Identify those core values. The number one step in personal development, identify your core values. And if you know those core values, your fundamental driving forces, your 5 to 7, maybe 10 fundamental driving forces, you are set for the rest of your life to make decisions that fully express who you are as a unique individual.
And in fact, what we'll do is we'll put a link in the comments, and this is also going on YouTube as well. So we'll put a link in there, but we'll put a link to our Find What Makes You Tick.
Discovering your core values.
It's a workbook that we created, and it also happens to be the first step in our 9-step method that we use to help develop our vegan warriors. And it's used in our total immersion program, but we can give that to you for free. And what you can start to do is, it doesn't take long to go through this, but you can really dig down to the core values. And honestly, a lot of them will probably surprise you. And then what you can do is you can start aligning your life with these values, and you'll kind of see things coming together and all the puzzle pieces fitting together. So it's pretty cool.
And with that topic of comparing yourself to others, that's where it's beautiful. When you're aware of your core values, you see the values in others shine through their successes. It's their soul expression. It made visible through their gifts and their actions, their abilities. So it becomes an interesting connection automatically with that person you envied. Now you appreciate instead of envy, because you see their core values shining, and now you can share yours with the world in your unique way that makes you feel good as well.
How awesome is that?
Pretty cool.
And then lastly, let's all be vulnerable. Let's all put our shit on the table. Let's get it out there, and whether that's just on an intimate conversation with somebody or whether that's on a mass level and you feel like you need to tell the world who you really are and do that through social media. That's great because you know what? It shows that you're human.
Mm-hmm.
It shows who you are deep down, that we're all got stuff buried. Let's get it out and share it with
Mm-hmm.
people. And you'd be surprised of how many people are so accepting of that. And the cool thing is it drives other people to do the same. And so if we're all being more vulnerable and more open, then this creates this space where we can share all these ideas and not have to worry about what other people think. And you know what? Who cares what other people think?
Mm-hmm.
Really? Who cares?
It creates a space of all of us becoming who we really are and not who we're told to be. So
yep, I think that about covers it.
That covers it, guys.
Sorry, there's a little strong rant there. We've been feeling this for a little while. We've been wanting to talk about this. We took a hiatus from really doing some videos for some time just because we've been so busy developing this
kick-ass program,
Kick-Ass Vegan Warrior
launched.
Total Immersion that's on our page now. So you can go and check that out. But yeah, please comment below. If you're watching this on YouTube later on, send some comments. We're always very responsive on there as well. But, you know, and if you missed the first half, go back and watch it.
Mm-hmm. Thanks for joining us, guys. Share too, share your experiences that you've had with getting stuck in this comparison trap. Ooh, we have another comment. Melanie, I think I've actually been working on myself with this exact topic. As a spiritual person, I found a lot of comfort and growth on knowing that God has made me beautiful and exactly how I'm supposed to be. That in God's eyes, I'm a beautiful creation and always, just like everyone else, is a beautiful creation in their own way.
Thanks, Melanie.
Beautiful, Melanie. Thank you for sharing that. And, I'm so happy to see that just like with Brittany and Melanie, people are coming into their own and realizing their uniqueness and learning to love even their weaknesses and flaws, because we as human beings just are not perfect. So
we're not. And thank you so much for all your support and sharing all of your experiences. And if you want to have a private conversation as well, you feel free to always message us at Soul and Wonder. And yeah, love talking to you guys and connecting.
Have a beautiful rest of your day. Remember, you are gorgeous the way you are. You are successful in the way that you are. And it doesn't matter what other people are doing. Your life is for you.
Take care, guys.